Alrighty, Kansas Bass Nation. Just got a couple new molds. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Just got a couple new molds, a couple by request. I'm going to go ahead and just remelt some plastic from my scrap piles. A little bit of green pumpkin looking colors, kind of make a green pumpkin magic real quick on some remelt. And I'm going to shoot these 4 molds real quick just to see how they turn out. Alright, so I've got 3 different tube molds, a 2.75 double dipper, a 3.75 double dipper, and then I believe this one is either a 3.75 or 4-inch ribbed tube mold. And then I've got 2 of these, but I'm only going to shoot one just to try. Got them in the deal. It is a like a 10-inch ribbon tail worm. So I'm just going to remelt some plastic scraps. Don't know what the color is going to turn out quite like right or whatnot, but we're going to shoot them real quick and just see how these 4 new molds shoot. Gonna have to go old school with this shot. Going with the big injector. Not breaking out the Presto pots, but we'll see how they turn out. Alright, so we're going to shoot the 4 molds that I got. I actually got 5 molds with 4 different versions, so we're going to shoot 4 of them. Gonna load up the old handy dandy double injector, or the big injector here. Not going to fire up the pots just to test some molds. So got about 15 seconds left here on the microwave. We're going to stir it up. Looks like it's going to be turning out like kind of this color here. Still had a couple sprues to melt here. It's just some remelt. Start saving your plastics. If you ever want to come down and make some baits, holler at me. I just threw everything green pumpkin and chartreuse that I had from the other day's bait making session on Average Joe's into a cup. And stir it up here. Try to get all the air to the top. It's real nice and thin, so we definitely got it hot enough. Move this down so you guys can see here. Sorry, I don't have my tripod set up or anything tonight, but alright, so all we're going to do is suck some plastic out of that cup. Shooting this one first so I can get a good example of how it's going to shoot. This is the one that I ordered for a particular person. Top off the old ribbon tail here. Making a mess. Gotten away from injecting this way. Normally using the fancy pots. So I'm not good at this anymore. Alright, so I made a little bit of a mess here. So used to using the fancy pots now that I apparently can't pour very good or inject very good. So it looks like everything's drawn down and starting to cool off. I'll give it about another minute and I will pop these open and make sure they were pouring okay. Main thing I was doing was looking at this particular mold here to make sure on the back sides of these molds they have little rods for the insides of the tubes, and it looks like it has 2 placements. One where you can shoot a traditional tube, and 2 where you can shoot a tube with a little bit more meat in the head for when you're wanting to drag that tube on the bottom. So I'm pretty sure that that's what this is allowing, so I set one further back to see if that's the case. If so, that's a neat perk. Out of one particular mold you can shoot 2 different versions of tubes, so hope that's the case. We'll see. That's the main reason why I was excited to shoot this, is when I seen the different settings on the rod. So we'll open these up in just a minute. Alright, so moment of truth. Make sure that's not hot anymore. It's not. So one thing about a tube mold is after you pour them, you also still have to cut the tails, but that's for another video. Right now, Just making sure the mold injects properly. Alright. So it does. It looks like it injected right. So this is the one I set the rod a little bit further back. So I could have set it further in. But this is to allow more meat in the head of that. So it looks like it comes about 4 ribs down, which is awesome for when you're wanting to drag the bottom. Like I said, this is just remelted plastic, so not a color I can replicate, but kind of a green pumpkin with chartreuse and pepper mixture. Turns out to be a real light color green pumpkin with almost chartreuse headlights in the or highlights in the tail. So we'll open the ribbon tail worm next. All right, so ribbon tail mold. All right, so it's shot to the other side, but that's all right. We'll just bring that ribbon up here and up here. Oh yeah, that mold shoots nice. So it's about a 5 to 6 inch body, and then probably another 2 or 3 inches on the tail. I think it says 10, but that looks more like a 9 on their website. But yeah, I don't know, it might go 10. Depending on how you stretch it. Don't mean to mess with the video there, but that's what they look like. Good looking ribbon tail mold there. Excited to shoot those. Gonna open up one of the tube molds. This one didn't shoot because I messed up trying to hit the hole, but gonna go ahead and open that one. It's one of the double dipper tubes and see how it turned out. And I shot it normal, not with the extra thick head, just to see how it shoots. Okay, so the one that I shot correctly, like I said, the other one didn't shoot correctly, so it's the 3.75 double dipper. This is the 2.75 double dipper. Still got to cut the tails, like I said, but that's the smaller profile. The rod's all the way up into the head, so it's going to be hollow, so you're using a typical tube hook / tube weight inside the body, but this is more of the finesse tube size, the 2.75 inch, but it is in the double dipper, so a little bit thicker head, a little bit thinner tentacles, instead of like a tournament tube where they're all thin all the way through. And then the other one I have is obviously the 3.75, but I poured that one wrong, so I'm not going to put it in the video. But just wanted to test these 2 molds out, or these 3 molds out, 4 molds, whatever it is, from Angling AI, and wanted to show you what they do. Well, I don't have my tube cutter handy, or I would go ahead and cut them and show you what the tubes look like, but this is it. Check out anglingai.com for quality molds. Check out Temptation Tackle, which is where... Alright, so there it is. It's got a nice, pretty good size thickness to the rings. A little bit thicker than the average Kitech, I would say. And then I shot it with the thick head, which seems to go to about the 3rd ring is where it starts. So you get a good, I don't know, my fingernail, so probably a good 3/8 to a 1/2 inch of Texas rigging. I haven't cut the tails yet, obviously, but see if I can flip it inside out and show you. Okay, so I went ahead and cut it open to see where that started, and I was right. It starts about that 4th rib, 3.5 ribs, so that whole top is going to be solid. So that gives you plenty of meat to Texas rig this, I think, the way you're looking for. So, and like I said, the ribs are real good to be able to bury a hook. You can see how pronounced they are. So I think this is exactly what you were kind of telling me you were looking for. I hope it is, and if so, I'll make you whatever colors you guys want. Let me know. Thanks for tuning in. This is just a couple still photos before I cut them open of what they look like with a plain background. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you soon.